States, I now have the best of both worlds, a successful administration and a Notre Dame degree. I am here principally because I believe that every single one of us has the power to lift up this nation and all its people to a place where the heart is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depths of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sands of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee to ever-widening thought and action into that heaven of freedom, my Father. Let our country awake. Amen. Some of you recognize that as a poem from Rabindranath Tagore, who was one of India's great poet laureates. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1917, the year that fellow Laetare Medal recipient John Kennedy was born. Tagore was a great friend and supporter of Gandhi. In fact, it was Tagore who gave Gandhi the name Mahatma, which means great spirit. He died in 1948, years before India achieved independence. But when they did, in 1948, the Indian government chose one of his poems as the words for their national anthem. And I learned that poem in 1981 while I was in India to play a role in Gandhi, which I am happy to say was a very successful movie everywhere, but nowhere was it more successful than in Hollywood. Go figure. But it won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1982, and everyone in Hollywood seemed to love Gandhi. In fact, everyone in Hollywood wanted to be just like Gandhi, thin, tan, and moral. For the past few months, I have had a nagging fear that the reality of this moment in this historic place would be such that anything I might try to add to it would be anticlimactic. And so I resolved that, come what may, I would accept this cup as offered, not altered, but to my great relief and to your eternal credit, from the moment I arrived here on campus, I've been taken up in the warm embrace of the Notre Dame family, and I'm deeply grateful. For more than half a century, this institution has been my ideal. And for 7 years, one of the most satisfying aspects of being on the West Wing was portraying an American president who was a graduate of Notre Dame. I thought Jed Bartlett was as close as I was ever likely to come to a personal relationship with the Fighting Irish, until now. So thanks to your dangerously generous gift, I'm afraid we're stuck with each other and I couldn't be happier. Working in Canada, where they're not as familiar with this honor, and it was announced, and I overheard a discussion between two gentlemen on the crew. One said, "What's this thing Sheen's getting from Notre Dame?" The other responded, "Oh, I guess it's something they give you in the States if you live long enough and stay Catholic." Indeed, the truth is mighty. Although I did not hesitate to accept this honor, I was not unaware of the glory of its promise or the demands of its purpose, nor was I unmindful of the historic and heroic ranks of previous recipients and their extraordinary contributions. On the contrary, yet more than anything else, what quickened my response to accept it was the fact that without exception, each and every single recipient evoked a common humanity and a common goal inspired by an itinerant young rabbi who assured us all more than 2,000 years ago that to know the truth would set us free. So therefore, this annual gathering is a celebration of freedom in the truest sense of the word, and I'm grateful for the invitation to attend this year's party. I've been an actor all my life. In fact, I have no conscious memory of ever not being an actor. I couldn't identify it as such when I was a child until I started going to the movies around the age of 5 or 6. And then it gradually began to dawn on me that, oh, I was one of those people up on the screen. And it was an extremely comforting revelation, because I knew even then that I would never be happy unless I pursued that wondrous mystery that possessed me and that gave me a possession of myself. So in a sense, my chosen profession was a foregone conclusion, and taking it all in all, I have not the slightest regret. But while acting is what I do for a living, activism is what I do to stay alive. And I'm often asked how I came to unite the two, and the answer is simple. I haven't a clue. But it was less a conscious effort than it was a natural progression. I learned early on that you serve yourself best when you serve others first. Of course, if you grow up in a large, poor immigrant family, chances are you're either Irish Catholic or Hispanic. I was lucky enough to be both, so I had a huge advantage when it came to social justice activism. Indeed, the truth is mighty, and it shall